My first girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. So, I have once again rewatched the great classic of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Since it's the new thing in the news cycle, since it's re-emergence on Netflix, I figured I'd go ahead and talk about it. But I want to do more than just talk about Avatar. I want to talk about Prince Zuko. Because I specifically want to talk about why Prince Zuko, as far as I am concerned, is the greatest character in all of Avatar, including Legend of Korra. So with that said, let us all buckle into the saddle of a flying bison that has no seatbelts. Let us go ahead and help a bald boy and his mission to stop an evil dictator ruling the world. Let us go ahead and use our favorite preferred element to bend the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And let us discuss hashtag greatest Avatar character. Now, the first things first, as I always do, let's go ahead and discuss the speed paint, which, of course, is of Prince Zuko. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing any, like, movie or TV show or references, anything like that. It's just Zuko. Zuko and his dual Chinese broadswords and firebending. One of the things I really love about Zuko is the fact that he has his own skill set beyond firebending. You know, like with the whole blue spirit thing. Like he's a guy who can take you out with zero bending because he's so good with the swords. And I always have a soft spot for anyone who dual wields swords because that just automatically makes you cool. So the fact that Zuko dual wields swords is just mwah, right, the cherry on top of his great character. So here's an homage to him doing what he does best, which is being a badass. What makes Zuko the best character in all of Avatar? Well, before we can talk about that, we have to discuss what makes Avatar, the show itself, so great. Last Airbender pretty much has everything going for it. It's got an awesome world, it's got an awesome setting, it's got an awesome plot, and of course, the cream of the crop is that an amazing, fully fleshed out ensemble of great, memorable characters. So the world building, you know, the plot, the world, I mean, come on. Magical kung fu, right? The ability to literally shoot fireballs out of your fists. The ability to, you know, launch boulders with like a spinning triple dragon kick. You know, literal flights if you're an airbender. Like, man, like it's like Star Wars. You know, everyone wants to be a Jedi because they think like, oh, how cool would it be if I could lift things with my mind and like, you know, wave my hand and make stormtroopers do dumb stuff. Like, it's the things that you imagine. You know, like Dragon Ball Z. Like, oh, if I were a Saiyan, I would go Super Saiyan 6, and I would be 10 times stronger than Goku, and, like, this would be my cool secret technique. It's, like, rife for OCs, right? You know, like, oh, this is my firebender Sona, and, you know, he's really cool, and, like, all the chicks dig him. And like, you know, your favorite female character totally falls in love with it, you know, like stuff like that. It's ripe with it. The plot is really nice and clean. It's been done a million times before. It's the hero's journey. A great cataclysm has occurred. A great empire has invaded. Very Star Warsy, right? And only the chosen one, Aang, the Avatar, has the power to stop this great cataclysm and once again bring balance to society. You know, once again, bring peace where there once was strife and war. But of course, more than all of that, oh man, even if all of that were kind of bunk and weird and like not cool, the characters are amazing. I can't, like, I can probably think of a character I don't like, but everyone, even like their little side characters here and there, always have such amazing personality to them. I think that's the winning formula, is that they feel like full humans because they express like the full range of emotion. And which is a big, like a big thing as far as I'm concerned with characters, is that you can't have a character who's just one thing. Even with characters who are supposed to be like badasses, who are like so super cool and awesome, you see that they're not always on, right? You see them kind of falter. The examples is like, you could easily take amazing characters like Iroh, this wise old master, who's like a well of insights and you know, kung fu mastery. You can take like the don't mess with me, I'm a tough girl Toph, right? Who's the greatest earthbender, so amazing that she invented an entire new sub style of bending. Then you have like the ruthless dictator Azula, who, you know, is unmatched. Not only, it seems like, in combat, but also like war strategy and just like amazing charisma. And each of those three characters, despite how cool they are, even they falter in some way, shape, or form. Iroh may be amazing, but he's also goofy. You know, he likes his tea, and he sometimes messes up, and he sometimes, you know, eats something that gives him an allergic reaction because he didn't realize it was the right tea.
Delectable tea or deadly poison? These are pakui berries, known to cure the poison of the white jade plant. That or macaole berries that cause blindness.
Then you got Toph, right? Ooh, I'm Toph, that's right. Nobody messes with me. I'm the greatest earthbender, and don't you dunderheads forget it. But she's also vulnerable. It's very clear she has her own insecurities.
Oh, Sokka, you saved me. Mwah.
Actually, it's me.
Oh, well, you can go ahead and let me drown now.
And even Azula, right? This tyrant. You know, even she is not perfect. She's terrible with friendly social interactions.
That's a sharp outfit, Chan. Careful. You could puncture the hull of an Empire-class Fire Nation battleship, leaving thousands to drown at sea. Because it's so sharp.
As a quick mention, I have to also say that Sokka's a great character. You know, he's a goofy guy, but he's also like, you know, deceptively intelligent. And I have to make a really quick diatribe about Sokka, because that dude gets a lot of chicks, man. I mean, like, you got like, you know, Suki wants him, you got like Ty Lee wants him, Yue wants him, Toph wants him. This dude's dick is so lit. It's no wonder they call him Wang Fire. Oh! But none of them hold a candle to the master, the greatest character, Prince Zuko. What makes Zuko so great? A character is great. I will say it a million times. I've said it a million times before. I'll say it a million times again. I believe that the greatest character is the one going through the most turmoil on screen. All the examples I gave previously is when those characters were going through turmoil, when they were on the back foot, when they were being the fool. They weren't cool. They were foolish. They were undesirable. Their positions were undesirable, not them as a character. They were in a position that embarrassed them or made them look like fools. Zuko goes through that in spades. No one in the series comes even close to the amount of on-screen suffering that Zuko does. Not even Aang. Yes, we understand that his people were massacred, which is just terrible. It's terrible. But it's very backstory. A lot of the times, you know, Aang has a great weight on his shoulders. He's the Avatar. You know, the fate of the world rests on him. He's the chosen one, right? He's the hero of the hero's journey. He understands that, oh, you know, my people were killed. I have to stop the Fire Nation. There's a lot of stuff. However, a lot of times we also see that he's still a kid at heart. He's still goofy. You know, he knows who he is. He doesn't have a lot of... he doesn't have a lack of sense of self. He just simply doubts if his self is enough to overcome an external problem. Zuko, on the other hand, to his core, is conflicted. And that's what makes him fascinating. From the first moment we meet Zuko, he's a villain. He's this fire prince who demands to capture the Avatar in order to win the war and earn his honor back. So we see, oh, he's a bad guy. Zuko the bad guy. You know, we just kind of go on with it. He has this uncle who's kind of goofy and who kind of likes him, and we see for the first time just a glimmer of like, oh, this is interesting. You know, this villain is big and bad, but he has this uncle who's wise and gives him advice, but he's also kind of goofy. And we see that, you know, when we first see Zuko, it's very clear he has a defined goal. We think, first meeting him, that he has a sense of self. I am the prince, I must capture the Avatar, and I'll earn back my honor. But as he goes, he's constantly conflicted of, is this right? Is this the right thing to do? I mean, he has a literal alternate identity of the Blue Spirit. And on multiple occasions, he helps and saves Aang when he's supposed to be capturing him. For you see, even though Aang, being the hero of the story, has a lot of external problems, Zuko has a lot of external, not as much external as Aang, but a lot of internal problems. And that cuts at the core of us. You can take a character who has to literally go against the world, but if they have a strong sense of self, they can say, you know, the whole world may be against me, but I know who I am, and I will stand for what is right. You get a feel that character is going to be okay in the end. They may die. Like maybe they die this great martyrdom death, but you knew that they had conviction and they had a sense of self. Zuko does not. His story is finding himself, and that cuts so deep, so much deeper than any external force. Because if your root is conflicted, you can't do anything. You are fractured to your core, and Zuko is fractured to his core, and we see him struggle. We see him struggle. Who am I? Do I want honor? I do want honor, but what does honor even mean? Is it something I can get outside? My uncle says it's something that comes from the inside. But I have seen what my destiny is. I'm supposed to be Fire Lord. I'm the Crown Prince. I have to fight for that. Isn't that not my birthright? What does that even mean? He's constantly questioning himself. And seeing him have to, that constant pull between, where do I go? His soul is on the line. It's incredible. Every moment he's on screen, you see his soul on the line. Even like the dumbest little interactions, like that Tales of Ba Sing Se episode where he, goes to meet that girl. Even then he's conflicted, because it's like, do I live this normal, peaceful life, or do I pursue my destiny? He's constantly asking questions, and we as the audience want to know the answer as badly as he does. And it's kind of funny because, in a way, there are people, not only is Zuko battling for his soul, but there's also external forces battling for his soul. It's almost like Iroh and Ozai, and more like Azula as a proxy for Ozai. They are the two entities pulling against Zuko's soul. The story of Zuko is who will he go with, right? It's a battle for his soul. In a way, it's almost like Zuko represents the microcosm of the entire conflict. Because Zuko is a victim, both a victim and a perpetrator of the crimes of the Fire Nation. And in order for the world of Avatar to heal, not only must the Fire Nation cease its conquest and destruction, but it must once again return to the fold of peace. And Zuko represents that conflict as one person. Because being of Fire Nation and being a victim of the Fire Nation, he's either going to side with the destruction, or he's going to side with the unity, reconciliation, and peace. It's kind of funny. I guess as to kind of wrap all this up, Aang may be the main character of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but as far as I'm concerned, Zuko is the star of the show. And besides, I may have sang praises about Sokka being a Chad, but I mean, even Zuko gets his fair share of the ladies, am I right? So yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. Alright people, you know what to do. If you like what you see, you want to see more, go ahead and tickle the sacred buttons, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're warned of upcoming videos. Also go ahead and comment. I would really love to hear your opinions on this. Do you think that Zuko is the best character, or are you wrong? Let me know in the comments down below, or if you want to talk about something else or have requests for future content. Also, go ahead and share this video, because it's about Avatar, and everyone loves Avatar, and you want to be one of the cool kids, so you got to show that you love Avatar and people who talk about Avatar, and la 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 la. And of course, if you want to stalk me elsewhere upon the internet, I always leave the intro video that has the links to all of my social media in the description box down below, or you can type them up here manually. I'll put them here on the screen as I usually do. But with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all stick around. And until next time, Flameo, Hotman, Flameo, and of course, deuces. And I have to make a really quick diatribe about Sokka, because that dude gets a lot of chicks, man. that guy scores pussy like a motherfucker.